Did you know the actors in Top Gun actually flew in real fighter jets, and some of them threw up mid-air? Not on a roller coaster, but thousands of feet above the ocean, spinning, diving, and screaming through the sky. The movie looks cool, smooth, and full of confidence. But behind the scenes it was sweaty, scary, and sometimes totally out of control. Tom Cruise didn't just play a hotshot pilot. He lived like one. And the famous volleyball scene? It almost never happened. Let's dive in and discover 20 weird and amazing facts about Top Gun. Number 20. They almost didn't let Tom Cruise fly. Tom Cruise begged the U.S. Navy to let him fly in real F-14 jets. At first, they said no, way too dangerous for a movie star. But Tom wouldn't give up. He trained for weeks, studied flight manuals, and even passed basic pilot tests. Finally, the Navy agreed, but only if he flew with an experienced pilot in the back seat. During one flight, Tom got so sick he had to land early. Still, he kept going back up. That hunger for real experience made his performance feel alive. It looked easy, but it was chaos. Number 19. The volleyball scene was an accident. The famous shirtless volleyball scene wasn't in the original script. One hot afternoon, the cast was waiting between shots. Someone grabbed a ball, and soon Tom, Val Kilmer, and others were playing bare-chested in the sun. The director saw it and shouted, "Keep going!" He filmed it right then and there. That spontaneous moment became one of the most iconic scenes in 80s cinema. No choreography, no planning, just sweaty guys having fun. What looked perfect on screen almost went wrong behind the camera. Number 18. Real pilots played themselves. Many of the pilots you see in the background weren't actors. They were real Navy aviators from the Miramar base in California. The filmmakers invited them to hang around, fly jets, and even appear in group shots. Some gave tips to the actors on how to walk, talk, and move like real fighter pilots. Their presence made the world of Top Gun feel authentic. Without them, the movie might have felt like just another Hollywood fantasy. That wasn't acting. It was real fear. Number 17. The jets were borrowed from the Navy. The U.S. Navy loaned actual F-14 Tomcats to the production for free. But there was a catch. Every flight had to be approved, and Navy pilots had to be in control. The cameras were mounted on the planes and sometimes on chase aircraft flying nearby. Filming took months and cost millions, but the result was jaw-dropping aerial footage no CGI could match in the 80s. The Navy even got a recruiting boost afterward. Thousands signed up just to be like Maverick. It looked calm, but was pure chaos. Number 16. Goose's death was based on a real tragedy. The heartbreaking scene where Goose dies during a training accident was inspired by a real-life incident. In 1979, a Navy pilot named Tom Cassidy ejected during a flat spin, but his head hit the canopy and he didn't survive. The filmmakers studied that event closely. Anthony Edwards, who played Goose, said he cried for real during the hospital scene. The pain you see, it wasn't pretend, not just acting, but real grief. Number 15. Kenny Loggins wrote Chase Danger Zone just for the film. The song Danger Zone didn't exist before Top Gun. Producers asked singer Kenny Loggins to create something fast, loud, and full of adrenaline. He listened to jet sounds, watched early footage, and wrote the track in just a few days. When Tom Cruise heard it for the first time, he jumped up and said, "That's it." The song became a hit and still gives people chills today. Without it, the opening flight sequence wouldn't feel nearly as thrilling. No fake energy, only real fire. Number 14. Val Kilmer hated the script at first. Val Kilmer, who played Iceman, thought the script was silly. He called it a cartoon with jets. But he took the role anyway, and then surprised everyone by studying real Navy pilots, copying their cool confidence, and even learning to play piano for a quiet bar scene. His icy stare and calm voice made Iceman unforgettable. Funny enough, Val and Tom didn't get along during filming, but that tension made their rivalry feel real. What looked like rivalry was real friction. Number 13, The Great Balls of Fire scene, was almost cut. The piano scene where Maverick sings Great Balls of Fire was almost removed. Test audiences thought it was too silly or distracting, but the director fought to keep it. It showed Maverick's playful, reckless side. Jerry Lee Lewis, who originally sang the song, even gave permission personally. That moment humanized Maverick before the big tragedy hit. Without it, we wouldn't care as much when Goose dies. One small scene, huge emotional payoff. Number 12. They used real G-force training. To make the cockpit scenes look real, actors went through actual G-force training. They sat in spinning machines that pushed their bodies sideways, up and down, just like in real dogfights. Some passed out, others threw up. Tom Cruise insisted on doing it all, even though he didn't have to. That's why his face looked strained and sweaty in flight scenes. It wasn't makeup, it was real exhaustion. That wasn't acting, it was real fear. Number 11, the final dogfight was filmed over the ocean. The epic last battle wasn't shot in a studio. Real jets flew over the Pacific Ocean near San Diego, dodging each other at high speed while cameras rolled from helicopters and other planes. One wrong move could have meant disaster. Pilots had strict safety rules, but the danger was still real. The clouds, the sun, the blue water, all of it was genuine. That's why the scene feels so alive, so huge, so real. No fake sky, only real danger. Number 10. Tom Cruise. Did his own cockpit reactions while Navy pilots flew the jets? Tom Cruise sat in the front seat during many flights, just to capture his real facial reactions. Cameras were mounted inches from his face. When you see him squinting, grinning, or gasping in the cockpit, that's not pretend. He was really up there, feeling the speed, the wind, the power. That commitment is why Maverick feels like someone you could know. It looked easy, but it was chaos. Number 9. The uniforms were too tight on purpose. Costume designers made the flight suits and uniforms slightly too tight. Why? Because real Navy pilots wear snug gear. It helps with blood flow during high G maneuvers. But it also made the actors look more athletic on screen. Tom and Val complained about how hard it was to sit or move, but the tight fit gave the movie its sleek, sharp look. Even small choices like this helped sell the fantasy. What looked stylish was actually uncomfortable. Number 8. Kelly McGillis didn't know how to fly a plane. Kelly McGillis, who played Charlie, the smart flight instructor, had never been in a small plane before filming. For her cockpit scenes, she trained with a real pilot for weeks. She even learned basic radio calls. But during one practice flight, she got so nervous she asked to land early. Still, she pushed through, and her calm, confident performance made Charlie feel like someone who truly belonged in that world. Not just acting, but real courage. Number 7. The Need for Speed. Line was improvised. Maverick's famous line, "I feel the need for speed," wasn't in the original script. Tom Cruise and Anthony Edwards were joking around between takes, repeating the phrase like a silly chant. The director overheard it and said, "Say that again, but seriously." They filmed it right then. That line became the soul of the whole movie. Sometimes the best moments come from pure play. One joke became legend. Number 6. The jets were painted. Just for the movie, real Navy F-14s are gray, but for Top Gun, they were painted with special black and white stripes to make them stand out on camera. The Navy allowed it, but only for filming. Afterward, the planes were repainted back to standard gray. Those custom jets helped audiences tell who was who during fast dogfights. Without those stripes, the aerial battles might have been a confusing blur. Old tools, new magic. Number 5. Anthony Edwards. Almost quit acting before Top Gun, Anthony Edwards was thinking of leaving Hollywood. He'd done small roles with little success. Then came Goose, a warm, funny, loyal best friend. The role changed everything. After the movie, he got offers for years. But more than fame, he said, playing Goose reminded him why he loved acting, to connect with people's hearts. That's why his performance still feels so real today. One role changed a life. Number 4. The beach was real and crowded. The beach scenes were shot at a real Navy base in California. Locals showed up just to watch Tom Cruise film. Some even snuck onto the set. The crew had to build fences and hire extra security. But the natural light, the ocean breeze, the real sand, all of it gave the movie a sun-drenched glow no studio could fake. Even the seagulls were real and very noisy. No fake beach, only real sun. Number 3. The sound of the jets was enhanced. The roar of the F-14s. You hear in the movie? It's real, but mixed with sounds from lions, tigers, and race cars. Sound designers wanted the jets to feel alive, powerful, almost animal-like. They recorded real engines, then layered in other noises to create that bone-shaking rumble. When Maverick's jet screams across the sky, you don't just hear it, you feel it in your chest. What sounded real was carefully crafted magic. Number 2. Tom Cruise. Broke his ankle, but kept filming. During a running scene on the tarmac, Tom twisted his ankle badly. It swelled up fast, but instead of stopping, he wrapped it tight, took painkillers, and kept going. The limp you see in a few shots? That's real. He refused to delay production. That same stubborn drive is exactly what makes Maverick so likable. He never quits, even when it hurts. Not just acting, but real grit. Number 1. The movie saved the F-14 program. In the mid-'80s, the U.S. Navy was thinking of retiring the F-14 Tomcat. It was expensive and complex. But after Top Gun became a massive hit, public love for the jet soared. Congress got letters. Recruits mentioned it in interviews. Suddenly, the F-14 wasn't just a machine. It was a symbol of courage and freedom. The Navy kept it flying for nearly 20 more years. A movie didn't just entertain, it changed history. One small choice changed movie history. Bonus fact, there was a secret alternate ending. Few people know this, but the filmmakers shot a different ending. In it, Maverick walks away from flying forever, too broken by Goose's death. But test audiences hated it. They wanted hope. So the team rewrote it. Maverick returns to the skies, honors his friend, and teaches a new generation. That final shot of him smiling in the cockpit? It was added last minute, and it gave millions the courage to keep going after their own losses. The past lived again through art. Top Gun isn't just about fast jets and cool sunglasses. It's about friendship, loss, and finding the courage to get back up after you fall. Maverick's journey reminds us that being brave doesn't mean never being scared. It means flying anyway. The movie captured a feeling so real, so human, that it still echoes nearly 40 years later. If you enjoyed these stories, subscribe for more. Every movie hides a truth, and we'll keep uncovering them, one story at a time.